Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers from drawing on December 16th, 2017. I have 7 strategies with my game, Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. And the 5 white numbers that just came up were the 2, 24, 28, 51, and 58. Again, I really don't care about the red ball. Okay, so what I do is I take those 5 white winning numbers and I put them at the top of this list. And then I take the last 3 drawings of numbers and I transfer them over to the game card as red numbers. And then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. I have 5 different colors, one to represent each one of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So for this drawing here, I have 14 red, 13 orange, 15 green, 15 blue, and 12 purple. And these colors change with every single drawing. Okay, so over here to the far right, this 185. This represents how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. And out of this 185, 98 have been a 3-color combination. 69 have been a 4-color combination. 15 have been a 2-color combination. And only 3 times have all 5 colors come up together. And never has it been just one color. Okay, so this number over here, this 3, this represents how many colors just came up. All right, so this last drawing had 2 orange numbers and 2 red and 1 purple for a total of 3 colors. Okay, since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up together, the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no purple numbers will be coming up. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these purple numbers off of the game card. So I'm just going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. So when I block out a number like this, this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so if I'm correct with my pick and none of these purple numbers come up, I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. And that's strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, so how this works is the master for all the numbers is up top here. And over here to the right are the 5 numbers that just came up, the 2, 24, 28, 51, and 58. And this 3 means that it was a 3-group combination. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this card down so you can see the whole card here. So you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's 7 groups here total. Okay, so group number 1 holds the numbers of 1 through 9, and then it's the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Again, for 7 groups total. Okay, so there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so how I use this is this big square right here. This is good for 5 drawings. Okay, so you're going to see that I like to break things into 5 because it shows me a majority of things. Okay, so I like to break things into 5 with the individual numbers because I can see how many numbers came up in a certain group. Okay, and if there was a lot in one group, then per 5 drawings, then maybe the next one will have a little, or vice versa. Okay, so the one that I'm going to pick for this week, for this drawing, is the 50 numbers. And the reason why is because a 50 number has come up in the last 7 drawings. So I'm just going to guess that it's due to miss. So I'm going to eliminate the 50 numbers off of the game card. So I'm just going to pump this back up, go back to the game card. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, with no purple numbers from the color code, and now no 50 numbers from the individual numbers. Okay, so if I'm correct with my picks, then I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so basically what I did is I divided all the numbers into 4 different groups, and I put colors to them. Okay, and now when the Powerballs come up, I record where they landed down here in the stats. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards here. Okay, and the strategy is try to guess where these zeros are going to pop up. Okay, so as I go back to the Powerball homepage, the numbers are 2, 24, 28, 51, and 58. Okay, so the 2 and 28 were in the red, so you can see that I marked it down here. That's 2 numbers in the red. There's 1 in the blue, and that was the 24. And over here was the last one of 51 and 58. So I marked it 2 in the orange section, and of course there was no numbers in the green section. Okay, so if I could have correctly guessed this, I could have eliminated all these numbers off of the game card. Okay, so let me elaborate here on the 58 and 68 here. All I'm doing is keeping track of groups of numbers and guessing whether they're going to come up or not. Okay, so as I go back to the game card, you can see that the 58's over here and the 68's over here. Okay, but they share the same square. So if I decide to get rid of all these numbers here, I'm going to get rid of the 58 and the 68 at the same time. Now the reason why I have these numbers over here to the left is because of the color code. I need some separation. Okay, so my pick for group 1 is option card number 1 here, no blue numbers. Okay, so I'm going to guess that none of these blue numbers will be coming up. Okay, and that includes the 8 and the 66. So the reason why I'm picking this, okay, is because I see a single red mark here. Okay, and single red marks, they come up a lot. All right, so with this blue section here, you're going to see that a single blue mark hasn't come up in a very, very long time down here. Okay, so I'm just going to guess that it's due to come up, and I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. All right, so I'm going to eliminate these blue numbers off the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. All right, so if I'm correct with my pick, I'm just one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1. And my next pick is option card number 4. No orange numbers. Okay, so the reason why I'm picking this one is because it has reached 31 consecutive drawings in a row. So one of these orange numbers have come up in the last 31 drawings. Again, I have 15 of these option cards, and the record for all 15 is 29 consecutive drawings in a row. Okay, so this has beat the record by 2. So I just really think that it's due to miss. So I'm going to eliminate these green numbers, these orange numbers off of the game card. Okay, sorry about that. It jumped ahead of me. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far without those orange numbers to it. Okay, so if I'm correct with my pick, again, I'm just one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so that's all I'm going to pick from group 1, and now I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 4, pick the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1 where I divided things into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so I'm going to point out this red section here. Okay, so I keep the stats for the red right down here. And I have 15 of these option cards as well. And they all look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, it's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other. Okay, so my first pick here, actually I'm going to elaborate a little bit more. Okay, so down here, this 0 means that none of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area. And this 2, of course, means that 2 out of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area. Okay, so here's where I like to keep track of every 5 drawings. Okay, so if there's 3 or more zeros in this 5 drawings, then I color this blue for cold. Okay, if there's 3 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so just going through the history of things, if things are really hot, well, eventually they're going to turn cold, and vice versa. Okay, so my first pick here is option card number 1, no green numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the green. Okay, and I just think that there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And again, you can see that I blocked off all these green numbers right here. Okay, so if I'm correct with my pick, again, I'm just one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And my next pick is option card number 4, no yellow numbers. Okay, so here's option card 4, and here's the stats for the yellow area. So I just think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, if I made the correct pick, I'm just one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to back to group 2, I mean. Okay, and my next pick is option card number 6, no yellow numbers. Okay, my computer's moving a little slow. Okay, so here's the stats for the yellow, and here's option card number 6. Okay, so I just think that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2, all right, and my next pick is option card number 9, no green numbers. Okay, so here's option card number 9. Here's the stats for the green. And again, I just think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so again, if I made the correct pick, I'm just one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Group 2 for one more pick. And this is option card 14, no gray numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the gray. And again, I just think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these gray numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so again, if I made the correct picks, the 5 white winning numbers should come up within the colored numbers here. All right, so I'm all done eliminating numbers. All right, so now it's time to try to pinpoint where these 5 numbers are going to come up. Okay, and to help me do that, I'm going to turn to this thing with my next strategy here. Okay, strategy number 5, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers. Okay, so I like to keep track of that and try to guess what the majority will be for the upcoming drawing. Okay, so right here, this 229. This represents how many drawings I kept track of so far. Okay, and that's since October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, so out of this 229, 112 drawings have been the majority of odd numbers, and 117 have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that there's going to be more odd numbers than even numbers. Okay, I also have high and low. Okay, the numbers in the red are high, numbers in the blue are low, but I'm not going to take a guess at that. And over here, I also have left and right. Okay, so the majority, you can see, has been a lot to the left. Okay, but I'm not going to guess at this either. And the last one is the red and blue, and I'm not going to guess at this one either. Okay, so over here, this is what I do have for the red ball itself. Okay, this red ball right here. There's 26 red balls in all. Okay, so in this column here, a blue number means that it's low, 1 to 13, and a red means it's high, 14 to 26. Okay, in this column over here, red means it's odd, and blue means that it's evens. Okay, so for this drawing here, I think it's going to be red, and I think it's going to be red over here as well. So I think it's going to be a high odd number. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far again. Okay, and out of the 50-50 picks, the only one I really feel comfortable picking is that I think there's going to be more to the more odd numbers than even numbers. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 6, pick the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so what I do here is I just kind of guess what group will be really hot, okay, in group 2. All right, so let me explain what I'm talking about here. I keep an overview of group 2, all right, so I can find out, again, what group is going to be hot and cold as a group. Okay, so I keep that right here. Okay, so I got 15 red numbers, 15 blue, okay, 15 orange all the way through. All right, so this last drawing, out of all the red, there was 8 hits and 7 misses. Okay, so what I'm talking about here is these right here. Okay, so all the red numbers. Okay, again, I have 15 of them. I have 15 option cards, so I'm going to have 15 red numbers here, 15 blue numbers. Okay, so again, last drawing, there was 8 hits, 7 misses. Okay, so the magic number here is 8. So if there's 8 or more misses, I color it blue for cold. If there's 8 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so this helps me able to predict what's going to be hot and cold as a group. Okay, so for this drawing here, I think that this brown is going to have a red mark here. Okay, so I think there's going to be a lot of hits in the brown area. Okay, so what I've done here, okay, this is option card number 1, okay, and this is option card 15. So the numbers that are left on this game card is going to reflect right here. Okay, so you can see the 42. Okay, so out of all these brown numbers, the only one that's left is the 42 right here. Okay, so that's why I wrote it down right here. Okay, so I did that with all 15 option cards, and these are the numbers that came up that are left. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so with this combination, okay, with the brown numbers, the numbers that I went with, the numbers that I think that are going to come up are the 3, 19, 35, 42, and 46. Okay, so with that combination, this will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits and 7 misses. Okay, so that's enough to make this red. Okay, so I think that this 8 and 7 is going to go right here. Okay, 8 hits, 7 misses. Okay, I think it's going to be red. All right, so I hope that makes sense to you. And again, the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing are the 3 green, 19 red, 35 orange, 42 blue, and 46 orange. Okay, so that's how I use my system. All right, so if you're interested in my system, you could go to my web page, okay, my website, and that's at www.patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. Okay, or you could email me personally at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.